The movie totally kicks off with some shady dude murdering an old sweeper, right? He literally takes the guy's identity, walks into an office, and pulls out this massive sniper rifle from his luggage. Just starts assembling it, no biggie. Then some lady sees him and bam, he shoots her, totally cold-blooded. A guard hears it, comes running, and this guy shoots him too. Next thing you know, the company owner's son walks by and the shooter is hot on his trail, trying to kill him. The kid's going up the stairs and the shooter just nicks his leg and bolts. But get this. The shooter, who we learn is named Jackal, our main character, is on the top floor and sees the cops already showing up below. So he chucks a smoke bomb and just chills out, walking right out of the building and disappears. Super smooth. He gets to his hotel and boom, he's in his real clothes and we finally see his face. It's Jackal. So the kid he shot, his dad is a big shot politician. When the politician hears his son got attacked, he rushes to the hospital. But wait for it, Jackal is already in the building right across the street. Surprise! This whole thing was his plan. He didn't want the kid, he wanted the politician. So he just injured the son, knowing the dad would totally show up at the hospital, making him an easy target. Jackal gets his gun ready, and outside the guards are all set to escort the politician out of his car. Soon as he's visible, Jackal takes the shot from way far away. Lights out for the politician. Jackal then takes apart his gun, shoves it back in a suitcase, plants a bomb in the building where he was shooting from, and bounces. A huge politician just got offed, and minutes later the police are there. But before they can even really search the place, the bomb explodes. Total disaster. Tons of cops get killed and injured. Messed up, right? Then the scene shifts and we meet Bianca, an MI6 agent. She's all about big missions and catching major bad guys. She hears about the politician's death and is totally shocked because he was hit from like 2 miles away. She's like, no way, that's impossible. Or the shooter is insanely skilled. Meanwhile, Jackal is chilling, buying some fancy chess set and heading home. Obviously, a super famous guy just died, so there are checks everywhere. The police even question Jackal, but he's all cool, saying he's just a collector buying old stuff. The cops don't get any suspicious vibes, so they let him go. Next day, Bianca's at HQ, and they're talking about the politician's case. They show her the building Jackal shot from 3,815 meters away. And they saw a guy leaving with just a suitcase. It was Jackal, of course, but Bianca's like, nah, that can't be him. She figures that kind of shot needs a huge sniper, way too big for a suitcase. She thinks the sniper must still be in the building, and that could lead them to the killer. But her team already searched and found nothing. Meeting dismissed. Later, Bianca tells her boss, Isabel, hey, I think I know who can find this killer. She knows a guy who makes custom snipers for these kinds of missions, and she's sure the sniper came from him. If they find him, they find the killer. Isabel gives her the green light. Now, Jackal is in Paris on the dark web trying to talk to his dealer about the politician hit. He's done the job, but he hasn't gotten all his money. But then he gets another offer from a different dealer to kill someone else for a whopping $100 million. The catch, Jackal has to meet them first, which he never does. But $10 million bucks? Yeah, he agrees. Bianca, meanwhile, is secretly meeting a lady to ask about Norman, the sniper expert. The lady is super cagey and tells Bianca to buzz off, saying her husband will make her life miserable if they meet again. Bianca, being Bianca, is like, hello, I've got all your records. Give me Norman's number or your husband's going to be seeing you in jail. Jackal meets his new dealer, who turns out to be a girl. He asks who the target is, and she spills the beans. Jackal Charles, some super famous dude. Jackal's like, whoa, that's a tough one. You got to bump the price tenfold. 10 million? Nah, make it 100 million, and then we'll talk. So Bianca, being resourceful, blackmails the lady by having her daughter arrested at a protest. Total power move. The daughter ends up in jail for attacking the police. Back to Jackal, he's at his luxurious house in the middle of nowhere with his wife Nuria. He's got this secret room where he hides all his guns and evidence. Even after all that, he checks his account again, still no payment. Then, big drama for Bianca. The girl she had arrested, her health tanks in jail and she dies on the way to the hospital. Yikes! The next morning, Bianca gets a call from Allison, the girl's mom. Before Bianca can even say anything, Allison is like, I know you got my daughter arrested. You asked for Norman's number yesterday and she got arrested today. No coincidence. Bianca totally plays dumb, doesn't tell Allison her daughter died, and starts blackmailing her back. Oh, I didn't know your daughter was arrested, but I can totally get her out. Just give me Norman's number. Then, Bianca gets called into Isabel's office, who's like, a girl died in jail because of you. What do you have to say? Bianca, with zero shame, says her report showed she had a heart condition. It was a heart attack. Yeah, it sucks she died in jail, but what can I do? Then she just walks out and calls Allison again, saying she talked to an officer to get her daughter released, but only if her husband gives her Norman's number. Crazy, right? While Bianca is still messing with the first Jackal case, Jackal is prepping for his next gig. He finds out Dag Charles is super popular and is about to drop some software that will expose all the rich people in the world. How much they're worth, where they spend their cash, how they got it. Naturally, all the rich politicians and moguls are freaking out about their privacy, so they want Dag Charles dead to stop the software launch. We then see a meeting of these rich people. A woman named Xena tells them she hired Jackal to kill Dag Charles for a cool $100 million, half up front, half later. It's Jackal's son's birthday, and he's celebrating with his family. Nuria's brother Alvaro shows up, knowing Jackal's loaded, and asks him for money to buy half a bar. Jackal's busy and tells him they'll talk later. We see he just got a 3.7 million euro payment for the new mission, so he's got to go. Nuria drops him at the airport for a flight to Germany, but as soon as she leaves, he pulls a fast one. He goes to a bank, grabs some cash, buys a fake ID and passport, and then heads back to the airport. But Nuria sees him. She calls Jackal immediately, but he doesn't pick up. Nuria gets totally upset and tells her mom everything, and her mom's like, I told you not to trust Jackal. He's totally cheating on you. Meanwhile, Allison is at a bar with her husband, and she sends him off to get something. Then she quickly takes out Norman's number, snaps a pic, and sends it to Bianca, so her daughter can finally be free. Bianca is on it. She sends the number to be traced. Jackal finally meets his new dealer, Xena, in Germany. She's like, dude, why are you here? The police are looking for you after you killed that politician. What did they catch you? He's all chill, saying, nah, that won't happen. Xena says she trusts him, but her clients want proof he can actually pull this off without any mess-ups. Wild!
So Jackal zips off to his hotel room, trying to figure out who stiffed him on the payment for that politician hit. Meanwhile, Nuria, who's been tracking Norman's location, rolls up to his place with a whole squad. But Norman's no dummy. He knows they're coming and is armed to the teeth. As soon as they bust in, Norman drops 2 guys dead and pieces out in his car, leaving Bianca empty-handed. She does snag a suitcase and her dead teammate's body, though, and heads back to the office. Bianca's mission accomplished, she sends word to Allison, get this, that her daughter died in police custody. Total gut punch for Allison and her husband, who are super sad and ditch the city for London. Bianca gets back to HQ, suitcase in tow, and shows Isabel and the others this perfectly assembled sniper rifle that fits inside. She's all like, I carried this thing all the way here and nobody even batted an eye. This is the same kind of suitcase the killer used, and it proves he knows Norman. So yeah, it's clear the shooter and Norman are connected. Isabel, seeing this huge breakthrough, hands the whole case over to Bianca. Back to Jackal, he finally gets Nuria's call. She's grilling him about ditching the airport that day. He totally lies, saying it must have been someone else, but Nuria is convinced he's cheating. So Jackal, being a smooth talker, shows her his empty room and washroom on video to prove nothing's up. Nuria comes down, tells him to come home soon, and hangs up. But Nuria's no fool. She starts poking around the house and finds a secret cabin where Jackal hides all his guns. Uh-oh. Bianca, still scheming, secretly calls Allison, who's still super sad. Allison asks why she called, and Bianca's like, we went after Norman, couldn't catch him, but we got his phone, and guess whose calls are all over it? Your husband, Larry's. If you don't want him in jail, you better find out where Norman is. But Allison's too heartbroken to be blackmailed. She's like, my daughter died because of you. I'm not helping. Allison goes back to her room, and her husband demands her phone. He sees the pic she sent Bianca with Norman's number, realizes she snitched on his brother Larry, and totally loses it. He starts beating her, and Allison tries to run, but he drags her back and brutally murders her. So messed up. At the office, Bianca gets another lead. Before the politician was killed, Norman was constantly getting calls from a guy named Jackal. Boom! Bianca tells her team to find everything they can about this Jackal dude. Meanwhile, Jackal, ever the chameleon, kills a driver in a hotel parking lot and takes his identity. At the politician's funeral, no one's really sad. They're all just worried about their money, even his wife and daughter. His son, though, the one Jackal shot in the leg, just quietly leaves. But guess who's in the driver's seat of his car? Jackal. He's already killed the bodyguard and tells the son, you shouldn't have been so mouthy that day. Kid's terrified and confesses he paid Jackal to kill his dad and then stiffed him on the rest of the money because he got spooked. Jackal just found out who the real mastermind was and who withheld his cash. With the confession in hand, Jackal turns the car around, kidnapping the kid. The other bodyguards heard the whole thing through the kid's phone too. Jackal takes him to some abandoned spot, shoots him, plants a bomb in the car, and pieces out. A short while later, boom! Car explodes, destroying all the evidence. On the other side, Nuria, Jackal's wife, has called her brothers to investigate him. They try to crack open Jackal's safe to see how much money he has, but they can't. Then Alvaro, Nuria's brother, sees on a map that there's a secret room. They manage to break in and find tons of cash and fake IDs. As soon as the door opens, Jackal's security alarm goes off and he knows Nuria and Alvaro are in his secret room. Jackal, lost in thought while driving, accidentally gets into a fender bender. He tries to pay off the other driver, but then the police show up.
They ask for documents and want to search Jackal's car. They find all the money and fake passports. Jackal's totally busted. But he's not going down without a fight. He shoots the police and the other driver who saw him kill the cops, then positions the guns to make it look like they shot each other. After setting the scene, he takes off. He calls Nuria and tells her he's in Paris and wants her to come to, that he has something important to tell her. She agrees, and he books her a hotel room. Nuria gets to the room and immediately slaps Jackal for lying. But Jackal, slick as ever, spins this whole story about being a secret agent, taking on dangerous classified missions, and having to keep his identity hidden. He tells her his life's always at risk and he's not allowed to tell anyone about his missions, which is why he couldn't tell her his real location that day. He even tells her he'll quit for her and their son soon. Nuria, surprisingly, starts to believe him. Meanwhile, Zena meets her boss, the one who actually hired Jackal to kill Dog Charles. Turns out Jackal killing the politician's son has put a target on his back, and now they're worried the police will catch him and he won't be able to kill Dog Charles. The boss tells Zena that the job has to get done. Bianca then gets a message from Allison wanting to meet, but it's actually Allison's husband, Larry. Bianca shows up and instantly knows something's off. She sees Larry with a knife, gets freaked out, and calls HQ for backup. An officer is sent to help, but Bianca tells them to catch him alive. Larry tries to run, but Bianca tackles him. He fights back, but more officers show up and save Bianca. However, Larry still manages to escape. Bianca's gutted because Larry was their key to Norman. They go to his hotel room to find him, and guess what? Larry murdered his wife, Allison. The scene cuts to Dog Charles, whose security chief is telling him his life is in danger if he goes to that concert on the 28th to launch his app. But Dog Charles is stubborn and insists he's going. Now we're at the concert hall. Jackal's there, inspecting the place to find the perfect spot to take out Dog Charles. He climbs into the ceiling, taking pics from every angle. His foot slips and falls, but catches himself hanging there. His phone drops, but he gets back up. He then comes down and meets a sweeper, making friends with this guy, knowing this guy could be useful. Bianca, heading home, finds Larry waiting for her at her house. He's got her daughter captive. He's there for revenge, screaming, "You killed my daughter, and now I'm going to kill yours." Before he can do anything, Bianca shoots him in the leg and frees her daughter. Larry's wounded, and Bianca's asking where Norman is, but she's more worried about her daughter. Back in his room, Jackal finds Zena waiting for him. She's mad, demanding to know why he killed the politician's son and how many cops are after him. She says her clients think he can't finish the mission. Jackal's getting angry, and Zena senses it, so she calms down and tells him if he gets in trouble, they can help. Larry's in the hospital now, and Bianca is torturing him for info on Norman. She's like, "Tell me about Norman or the torture continues. Give us his address and you can go to your wife and daughter's funeral." Larry finally cracks and tells her Norman lives in a white house with a stable. Finally, we see Norman. He's got an injured arm from Bianca's attack last time. He's checking his security cameras when Jackal calls needing a new non-metal weapon for a concert mission. He can't use his old metal guns because he'll be going through concert security. Norman agrees, but says his hands hurt and it won't be quick. Jackal insists it's urgent and says he'll come help. Norman gives him his location. Jackal shows up. Norman picks him up, taking him to his house, which is totally full of weapons, including tons of those suitcases Jackal used before. Jackal draws out the design for his new non-metal gun, and Norman gets all the parts. They easily build the gun together, and Norman even gives Jackal some shooting practice. Meanwhile, Bianca and her team arrive in Norman City. Jackal, practicing in the forest, sees a card near Norman's house when he's done. He knows it's the agents. He quickly hides in a nearby car, calls Norman to warn him, but Norman's asleep. When he finally picks up, Jackal's like, "Dude, MI6 is here. Erase everything and bomb the place." Norman frantically tries to wipe the data, but before he can escape, Bianca's team starts shooting. Norman grabs a gun, shoots back, even kills one of them, but runs out of bullets. As he's reloading, Bianca and her crew rush in, shoot him, and take him prisoner. Bianca demands to know where Jackal is, but Norman plays dumb. Bianca's like, "Don't play games. If you're here, Jackal's around too." But before they can torture him, a gunshot rings out, and Norman drops dead. It was Jackal. He didn't want Norman to give him up. But that gunshot totally backfired because now the MI6 agents know Jackal is right there. Total chaos.
We've got Jackal, right? And he's totally on the run. Bianca and her agents are hot on his trail, but surprise, Jackal finds some horses and just bolts into the jungle. It's super dark, and he's all sneaky, jumping into a river and totally escaping Bianca. She must be so mad. He finally gets across the river and sees this farmhouse, thank goodness. a place to crash. He falls asleep, but then, bam, wakes up to some dude with a rifle pointed right at him. This guy's not an agent, he's the property owner and thinks Jackal's a thief. He's about to let Jackal go, but then he spots a huge sniper rifle in Jackal's stuff. So the owner calls his brother and they're like, "We gotta make this guy talk." Jackal's all, "Take all the money you want, just let me go." The owner's like, "Sure, but first, I want to meet you." So he heads over with his son. But the brother, being super smart, realizes these guys aren't going to let Jackal go, so he uses his training, right? He grabs a gun, shoots the owner, and busts out of there. He tries to take the guy's car, but it's totally messed up. Meanwhile, the owner's brother and son show up, and when the brother sees his dead brother, he's furious. He knows Jackal's got to be hiding in the car, so he grabs his rifle. But then Jackal shoots him from under the car, wounds him, and then finishes him off. The son sees the whole thing and is terrified, so he just surrenders. Jackal tells him to drive, and the kid does, no questions asked. In the car, Jackal calls his wife Nuria, and he's all, "I'm sorry, I might not make it this time, and I'm never coming back." Nuria is super upset and demands to know where he is so she can save him. Jackal, being a manipulative dude, plays a game to win her trust. He spills the beans about his secret room, knowing she already knew about it. They get to their destination, and Jackal's about to kill the kid, but the kid begs, "Please don't kill me, I have a family." Jackal actually believes him because he sees a family pic on the kid's phone. So Jackal's like, "Fine, I'll let you go, but if anyone gets a hint about this, your wife and kid are dead." Total scare tactic, right? Then Jackal goes to a hotel where Nuri is waiting. He apologizes, promises to quit these missions, and says he'll retire after this one to spend all his time with her and their baby. Nuria believes him. So he disguises himself as an old, lame man. Get this. He's off to the airport and then to a concert where his target, Dag Charles, will be. But wait, Bianca's on the same plane. She's there for concert security, and Jackal instantly knows this is going to be way harder to kill Dag Charles now. He gets to his hotel and changes his look. Someone knocks and it's the police looking for someone else, but totally getting suspicious of Jackal. The officer calls Jackal's phone but finds nothing, so he leaves. Close call. Then Jackal meets Rasmus for a drink. Rasmus is the concert hall sweeper. Jackal tells him he has nowhere to stay, and Rasmus, being a good guy, offers him a place at his house. The next day, Jackal meets Xena again and tells her Bianca is on his tail because of the politician he killed. He wants her to mess with Bianca's team, and Xena's like, "Consider it done." Meanwhile, Bianca's team is making a sketch of Jackal with the help of a team member who saw him when he fired that shot. Back at Rasmus's house, Jackal is pretending to be an engineer. Rasmus invites him to the concert hall to relax. Jackal says he wants to build a concert hall like it, so Rasmus uses his ID to get them in so Jackal can copy the map. But Jackal's got a totally different plan, you guys. He finds a super secret hiding spot in there to wait for his target. It's getting intense. Bianca and her buddy are heading to the concert hall to check security. But then, total surprise attack. They barely survive. Bianca shoots back, and the attackers are taken down. Bianca's still on her way, even though it's just a pre-launch event, not the main concert. Jackal knows this is his only chance before the place gets shut down for security. So he grabs some water and snacks, uses Rasmus's ID, and sneaks in. He goes straight to the roof, right to his pre-planned hiding spot. No one can see him. He's totally safe, and he can easily take down Dag Charles from there. He sets up, even though Dag Charles isn't coming for 2 more days. He knows he won't get another chance, so he just chills there for 2 days, waiting. The night before, the place gets thoroughly checked with dogs and gadgets for bombs or weapons, but they have no idea Jackal's already hidden in there. Concert day finally arrives. Bianca and her team are there, and security is super tight. No knives, even for MI6 agents. Finally, Dag Charles, Jackal's target, shows up. Jackal pops out, takes out a cameraman, and takes his place. But then there's a huge mistake. Dag Charles' security guard attacks him, but the bullet misses. His security goes wild. Bodyguards shoot the attacker, and Jackal loses his chance to hit Dag Charles. Mission failed for now. But he still has one more shot. Because of the attack, Dag Charles is whisked away for security, and the launch is postponed. Jackal climbs down from the roof and goes to meet Rasmus. Rasmus is stoked to see him, but he has no idea Jackal's about to kill him. He does it so smoothly that no one even suspects a thing. Meanwhile, Xena's bosses are furious because Jackal messed up. Remember, Xena hired him? We find out Jackal actually did fire a shot at Dag Charles, but it hit bulletproof glass. That's why everyone's even angrier.
Dag Charles holds a press conference saying he'll launch his app soon. And Bianca, she checks security cameras and finds out Jackal was hiding in the ceiling for 2 days. Catching him becomes super important because he's a killer of a big politician and now a threat to another important person. Jackal's sketches on TV, wanted posters are everywhere, and his family is in the picture. Nuria calls Jackal super suspicious. She knows MI6 agents don't put up wanted posters for their own. When she talks to him, he doesn't lie and says, "Yeah, that's me on TV. I'll tell you the truth when we meet." Nuria is devastated. Like, "I've had enough of this drama. Come home." Then Bianca goes to Larry because she thinks she knows where Norman and Jackal are. She apologizes to Larry because his wife and daughter died because of this mission, but Larry, totally angry, says it was her fault. He doesn't say a word, just pulls out a knife and slits his own throat right in front of Bianca. Total shocker. Bianca's last hope is gone, so she goes back to HQ and finds a file with names of top sharpshooters. One of them has to be Jackal. As she reads, we flash back to Jackal's past as a soldier in Afghanistan, eliminating the Taliban. He's a super good shot, so he gets tough missions with his friend, Alex. He takes out a Taliban leader from a distance, and everyone's super impressed. After the mission, at a party, a guy named Tom tells Jackal, "You're a great shot. If you work for me killing bad guys, I'll pay you way more than your army salary." Jackal's like, $20 million for taking out a gangster? Not bad. So he takes Alex on this mission, and it's super easy. One shot, $20 million in his pocket. Tom tells him he can make bank doing more of this. The next day, Jackal's on another mission to kill a whole group of Taliban planning terrorism. He takes his position, shoots his target, and then all hell breaks loose. Everyone inside starts shooting, but the U.S. military guys outnumber them. They kill everyone, only to find out it was a fake report. It was a wedding. Jackal feels terrible, but his leader doesn't care, just calling it a mistake and moving on. This makes Jackal furious. He decides he's done with these guys. A little further down the road, Jackal stops the vehicle saying he thinks they're landmines. He goes to check with Alex, but there's nothing. Then Jackal pulls out a remote, presses a button, and bam! All the vehicles explode, killing his companions. Alex thinks it's an attack, but Jackal just calmly walks away. He did it because he knew the U.S. military was killing innocent Afghans. Back in the present, Jackal's home and Nuria is beyond angry. "Are you really not working for security? Can you kill anyone for money?" She knows the truth, but wants to hear it from him. Jackal gets emotional and angry, saying, "Yes, I can kill anyone for money." It's a total mess, and Nuria leaves crying. The next day, still no talking, but then Nuria asks, "Can't you just quit and live with me and our son?" He already has a plan, so he agrees, "Yes, I'll quit everything after this one mission, and we'll be a normal family." But hearing this mission just makes Nuria even angrier, and she storms off again. What a roller coaster.
Okay, so then Nuria's brother Alvaro shows up, right? And he's all hyped, asking where Jackal is because he wants to introduce Jackal to Jamie. Nuria totally freaks out when she hears Jamie's name because, get this, Jamie's a gamester. She yells at Alvaro for working with him, but he just ignores her. So Nuria, super upset, goes to Jackal and spills the beans about Alvaro and Jamie. She's worried Jamie will hurt Alvaro and mess up their business because Jamie is a big deal gangster who doesn't even blink before killing people. But Jackal, being all cool and confident, tells Nuria, "Look, as long as I'm alive, no one's going to touch you." Then he meets Alvaro and says he's totally down to meet Jamie. "Set it up," he says, "and tell me where to go." Alvaro's super happy, of course. Right after that, Jackal goes to his friend with a boat, borrows it, loads his stuff, and just takes off. Meanwhile, Alvaro's with Jamie, telling him all about Jackal and Naya's tons of money. They're like, if he's in on this deal, we can make millions. They're just chatting when suddenly, bang, gunfire! Jamie drops dead right on the table. Alvaro's shocked, but he knows deep down it was Jackal. Jamie's a huge gangster, so news of his death spreads like wildfire. Bianca hears about it, and from the distance of the shot, she immediately knows Jackal's behind it. Next, we see Jackal again, but now he's got a new boat, loading his gear and heading to Dag Charles's island. He gets way out into the middle of nowhere, kills the boat owner, and then starts assembling his sniper rifle. He's totally prepared to take out Dag Charles. He's about 2 kilometers from the island pretending to fish. His boat shows up on the CCTV, but it's blurry, so no one pays much attention to him. It's a normal day, and Dag Charles is swimming in the sea with his security guards. But because it's high security, one guy goes to check out Jackal's boat. As the guy gets close, Jackal shoots him. So now everyone knows there's a shooter on that boat. The security guard with Dag Charles quickly pulls him underwater, but Jackal, being super smart, knows they can't hold their breath forever. He starts counting, and as soon as they pop up for air, Jackal takes out Dag Charles, the security guard. Charles dives back down, but Jackal keeps counting. This time when Charles comes up for air, Jackal shoots him right in the head. Bam! Mission accomplished. Target eliminated. No time to hang around, so Jackal grabs his boat and speeds off before Charles' security can even locate him. After the boat ride, Jackal's driving home when he gets a message from Nuria. Alvaro's been arrested for Jamie's murder. There are roadblocks all over the city because of Jamie's death. And Jackal still has all his weapons. He knows if the cops see them, he's toast. So he just blasts through the police roadblock and a high-speed chase begins. The road's short, so Jackal manages to escape and the police car crashes. News reports are going wild about Dag Charles' death, and his app launch is totally postponed. Zaina, her boss, and everyone else are super happy about this. When Bianca hears about Charles's death, she rushes to Isabel and says, look, Dag Charles was killed from 2 kilometers away, and Jamie was murdered in Spain from 1.5 kilometers. It has to be Jackal. But Isabel, get this, tells her to close all the cases. Bianca is absolutely shocked. 3 huge murders, and her boss wants to shut it down. Bianca wants to keep going, but Isabel says closing the case is better for everyone and tells her to leave if she wants to pursue it. Bianca storms out, furious. Later, Isabel gets a call from her senior, who orders her to catch Jackal no matter what, knowing only Bianca can do it. Isabel has to admit she just fired Bianca. So the senior tells her to go convince Bianca to come back. Meanwhile, Jackal is heading home when a kid runs in the road. Trying to avoid him, he crashes and his car tumbles down a hill, trapping him. A guy sees Jackal in trouble and, being a good Samaritan, helps him out of the car. But Jackal, being the cold-hearted dude he is, pulls a gun on the guy and steals his car. Talk about messed up. Unfortunately, that car runs out of gas, so to cover his tracks, he shoves it into a ditch. He's walking through the forest when he sees an old couple on a picnic. He pretends to be a helpless guy, tells him he's not feeling well, and asks for a ride to the hospital. The couple, being sweethearts, agree. Back with Alvaro, Nuria has managed to get him released from jail. The cops realized Alvaro had nothing to do with Jamie's murder. Now Isabel goes to Bianca's house. Isabel tells Bianca she's thought about what she said and that Bianca was right. Too many people have died and they can't just drop the case. She wants Bianca to take over and catch Jackal. Meanwhile, the old couple is taking Jackal to the hospital. Jackal pulls his gun and tells them to take him to the airport instead. It's a long drive and it gets dark, so Jackal makes him stop to rest. The old man asks Jackal, "Are you going to kill us?" Jackal says no, he just needs to get to the airport. But when they get back in the car, the old woman, being super clever, stabs Jackal with a knife. The old man, seeing Jackal weakened, attacks him too. Jackal gets furious, shoots the old man, and then tells the old woman, "You shouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have killed you if you hadn't tried to stop me." Then he kills her too. Total disaster. After that, he calls Nuria, telling her he'll be home soon, no more missions, just them and their family on some island where no one can find them. He's pouring his heart out. Nuria, sounding convinced, says, "Okay, just come home, I'm waiting." We then see Bianca heading to Spain to find Jackal. Jackal is also at the airport, messaging his dealer on the dark web, asking where his money is. Zaina gets the message and calls her boss, who totally dodges the money question and starts asking about Jackal's house. Zaina immediately realizes they're not going to pay and they're probably trying to kill her to cover their tracks about Dag Charles. She gives him a fake room number and leaves. Jackal finally gets home. Bianca, who's been staking out the place, recognizes him. Jackal has no idea she's there. He walks into the house, totally broken when he sees Nuria and his son are gone. Just then, Zaina calls and tells him they've been betrayed and the people want them dead. Jackal now knows he's in danger, so he quickly grabs a big bag and starts stuffing money into it so he can flee. Bianca and her partner burst into the house, but before they can get to Jackal, Alvaro, totally drunk, stumbles in. Bianca shoots and kills him. Jackal hears the shot, knows someone is after him, switches off the lights, and hides in his secret room. While Bianca and her partner are trying to fix the lights and search, they can't find him. They're standing in the living room when Bianca's partner sees Jackal with a knife to Bianca's throat. He jumps in front of her, and Jackal shoots him. Bianca is super sad about her partner, but she has to save herself. She aims her gun and shouts, "Jackal, I know you. Who's making you do this?" Before Jackal can answer, he turns around, and as she turns, Jackal shoots and kills her too. What a mess. After that, Jackal calls Nuria, but she won't answer. She's at the airport and she just throws her phone away, totally fed up with Jackal. He's super depressed about this and isn't paying attention to his driving. He crashes and it's a really bad accident. At MI6 headquarters, Isabel gets the news that Bianca, her best officer, is dead. Isabel tells her companion she knew this would happen and that she tried to stop Bianca from going. He goes to his cabin and finds a message from Bianca, clearly stating that Isabel sent her to Spain. He knows if he leaks this, he'll be dead too, so he deletes the message and keeps the truth to himself. Cut to a long time later, and Jackal is alive. He meets Zaina in a secret place. She tells him they were totally betrayed and it's up to him to get the money or kill them. But Jackal just says he has to find someone first and then he'll figure out what to do. And that's where the season ends. Crazy, right?